Right, we got some curves. We got when time became history, the human era. Check it out, man.
Someone coming into your kitchen and taking a few tools, a pan, and your garbage.
Well, that would be annoying.
Bury everything in the woods.
That's even more annoying.
Years later, an archaeologist is trying to figure out who you were.
Oh shit! Okay.
What was important to you? What video games you played? What you believed in? And what informed your decisions? Because you happened to live during a remarkable time in human history. The planetary revolution.
Crazy.
When humanity transitioned, becoming a multi-planetary species.
Surely they will have like access to our internet, right? Or, you know what? That's actually crazy. You know how the internet is like the internet? But that's because of satellite dishes and like the signals. You know if like that all went to shit? But that's actually mad. You know, like if we got wiped out, right, or something happened, let's say like World War III happened, we all died, blah, 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 we lost signal to like the satellites that's controlling like the internet or whatever, or they went down or something, and then they booted it back up, they wouldn't have our internet. Or would they? Yeah, I need some internet wizard right now. So someone that knows about that stuff, or satellites, how the internet is up there. If like they would have their own different internet, like would it just be wiped? That's actually mad, isn't it?
In that time, our numbers would
Bro, that's weird. I didn't watch a video on that.
Of magnitude. Our technology and standard of living would improve to levels previously thought impossible, and our self-conception would change forever.
Bro, the world will be insane.
And all the future archaeologist has to learn about is your junk in the woods. While we can only hope that this will be someone's problem in 12,000 years, we have the same problem today.
Bro, imagine the fucking world in 12,000 years. Like, imagine what... Like, just realize what's happened in the past 20 years with technology, right? It's actually fucking crazy. So, like, in 12,000... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It'll be mad.
We're trying to reconstruct a revolution that took place 12,000 years ago. Today, only shadows remain of the people who experienced our distant past as their present. What remains from our past? We can look at our present in crispy 4K in color and sound. 3 generations ago, the world was just black and white. One more generation and we see the world through blurred photographs. Further back, paintings and texts become our main way of experiencing the past. A mere 20 generations before us today, every written word had to be copied by hand, and reports became more scarce and less reliable. The first historian lived a mere 100 generations.
I've just answered my own question. I'm so sorry that I'm pausing this, but I can't get my head out of the internet talk, right? So I just realized that the internet is still up there, right? Because it's just the internet, right? It's just signal to the internet, right? But like if we were to be wiped out by like World War III or something, Google will be down. Internet Explorer will be down, Firefox will be down, all these where, and like YouTube will be down, where like our data and our lives would be on, right? So not the internet will go down, those companies will go down. Yeah. I can't. It's so confusing though. I'm not gonna lie. It is like really interesting to like find out. I might need to like check out a video on the internet. Like yeah, mad.
Before him, there are only epics and legends, and dead kings bragging on pieces of stone. 250 generations ago, there are only fragments left in the ground and images stripped of their original meaning. Eventually, humanity becomes basically invisible. Still, we do know some things about our ancestors. Let's try to tell their story and what it means for us today. The greatest transition in human history. For some 2 million years, or roughly 80,000 generations, the life of our ancestors was basically the same. It was around 20,000 years, or 800 generations ago, that the behaviorally modern humans began a process that would change our lifestyle forever. At first, gradually, for some of us, then faster for more of us, and then, suddenly, for almost all of us. Back then, there were about 1 million modern humans on Earth. Most other human species had died out, probably with a little help from us. Our ancestors' biology had given them the necessary tools. A general intelligence to understand things, a social intelligence to understand each other, and language to express abstract ideas and create new concepts.
Oh, what's
These
that?
were people just like you.
Who's going to cut off the frog?
They suffered and experienced joy, were bored, cried and laughed. They lived in communities of a few dozen people. They controlled fire and had tools made from wood, stone and bone, told stories, mourned their dead, and created art. They traded with other tribes, from obsidian to shellfish. Some hunted big game and were very mobile, others relied more on plants they collected, and others mostly stayed in one area with an abundance of seafood. This was the common state of humanity.
Crazy time to be alive then. Actually crazy time, because like every single person in that tribe or whatever will be, you know, pulling their weight, doing their part to survive. They're living to survive, right? Or is it surviving to live? No. Yeah, living to survive. And now we have people that do that for us. So companies, food companies, we want food, we just go to the shop, we get a shit. We even order food, right? You know what I mean? I don't have to leave this room. I don't leave this room. You know what I'm saying? It's actually crazy about that.
Humanity for most of our history. Until a slow transition, step by step, turned into a revolution. Step by step. The first solid evidence for this stems from the Jordan Valley, where our ancestors collected wild wheat more than 20,000 years ago.
Wow.
They noticed that seeds in the ground made more plants the next year. If they put good ones in one place, the next year they had more of the good ones. This was a great supplement to hunting and gathering. You could prepare some crops, return next year, build a temporary settlement, and have a secure food supply. Our ancestors used these bonus crops to bake the first bread and brew the first beer.
Wow, 20,000 years ago.
They gathered deeper knowledge about the plants and animals around them and how to manipulate them to their advantage.
Don't do
plants.
Bro, what is this? What is this, bro? Like, actually have the chicken on the plate, on the plate, not the actual chicken like living fit, bro. Come on.
Animals around them and how to manipulate them to their advantage. But there was a lot to learn. Very slowly, from generation to generation, pockets of knowledge expanded and were passed along to be expanded again. This early agriculture started to drastically reduce the space our ancestors needed to feed one individual, which made it possible to stay in one place longer. Around 12,000 years ago, these little pieces of progress had reached a critical mass. Most of the calories we consume today stem from about 15 different founder crops that humans began to domesticate in earnest in the next few thousand years. What we call the agricultural revolution was not a thing that began suddenly one day. It was a slow process driven by small groups over many generations. Eventually, gradual change gave rise to a new era. The human era. During the next few thousand years, progress would speed up and turn hunter-gatherers into farmers who lived in villages, towns, and then cities.
Do you know what? It's crazy because like we're talking about 20,000 years ago, 12,000 years ago. It's actually crazy like how long it took them to like, you know, evolve and change and become better. And then when you look at us right now, how quick we're changing and becoming better. So like, for example, we've done so much more in the past 100 years than the past 20,000 years. That is, it actually blows my mind. It's so cool.
When farmers moved into new areas, they replaced the nomadic tribes or turned them into farmers too. This was neither easy nor painless. In the early days, people had a diverse diet made up of up to 250 different plants and animals. For some of the groups transitioning to agriculture, the variation in their diets declined drastically, and some even seemed to have been undernourished. And living close together and with animals created a breeding ground for disease. Virtually every infectious disease caused by microorganisms that have adapted to humans arose in the last 10,000 years. Cholera, smallpox, measles, influenza, chickenpox, and malaria. Mortality, especially among children, rose drastically. Still, our numbers grew because living in the same place enabled women to bear far more children than before, and for a farmer, more kids mean more hands to work the fields.
Correct.
Even with more people dying younger, villages and towns grew.
Bro, is that what they did when they had a new kid? Yay, let's work.
The number of humans on Earth exploded. About 100 generations after the beginning of the human era, there were already 4 million of us. This increased the need for food and forced people to come up with ever more efficient ways of producing calories, solidifying our new lifestyle. Going back to hunting and gathering would have just meant death by starvation for most. One question remains unanswered. Why? Why would people exchange the freedom of living off nature with a huge variety in food for the grind of agriculture and often more limited diets? Nobody knows for sure. Climate change seems to have made the transition possible, and some scientists argue that it was caused by external factors like undernourishment or overpopulation, both highly contested. Today, the most widely accepted idea is that it was a deliberate choice made by countless communities around the globe. Maybe it's also connected with what makes us human, the ability to come together, develop shared identities, and exchange stories and knowledge.
Yeah.
Some archaeologists think that groups of hunter-gatherers traveled long and far to celebrate.
I can't lie, Kurz knows how to put a video together. This is 10 out of 10. It's really
to hold
good.
Feasts and rituals. They would have used these occasions to talk about their version of innovation, better hunting and tool-making techniques, how to catch and breed animals, and which plants could be collected and multiplied. Maybe they even exchanged seeds. It's not unlikely that these gatherings were the catalyst that spread the knowledge of agriculture through the many isolated groups of humanity, ultimately ending a lifestyle that was common to our species for thousands of generations. So by being able to come together, celebrate, share, and learn from one another, these humans might have taken the steps that led to our modern world, and we have much to be grateful for. We are still the same humans today, even if it often doesn't feel that way. Maybe it's time to come together to share what we know and celebrate our existence once again, to begin another peaceful transition, maybe the planetary revolution that will change everything once more. So, hopefully, in another 12,000 years, our descendants will look back on us today.
Hey, yo, I ain't got 12,000 years to wait, man. We gotta transcend. We gotta do things super quick within the next 40 years. I need to see some cool ass shit, man.
With gratitude for the amazing world they are able to inhabit.
Sick video.
To celebrate the achievements of our ancestors in the last 12,000 years and to look with hope towards the next 12,000, we present you with the 5th Human Era calendar.
It's absolutely sick video from Kurz again. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe. You guys got any videos you want me to check out, leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll see you all in the next video.